Hello everyone, I'm Alan, and in this video I'm going to be completely transforming the jungle temple, one of the most oldest structures in Minecraft. Let's get started. The step number 0, like I call it, for any build to be done or any transformation is to actually clear up a area large enough for the build. And the area that I had chosen had a lot of bamboo, leaves, trees and whatnot, so it was a total pain clearing it out. Nevertheless, I got it done. After roughly clearing the area, I started this build with step number 1. Step uno, planning, the most important and crucial step in any build. In my mind, I had somewhat of a main center structure that was the jungle temple, which had 4 small towers on each of the 4 corners. I wanted to make this build as symmetrical as possible. With the planning phase done, it was time to work on a skeleton structure for the build. Skeleton structure is basically an outline that gives you like a rough figure where what goes. I made those skeleton structures out of stone bricks. While making the entire structure, I came across a bit of problems here and there, but the main problem that I had come across was that I had gotten the parameters for one of those sides wrong. It looks like I can't count, but nevertheless, I fixed that error because it was in like the early stages of the build, so that is why everyone keeps saying planning and skeleton structures are very important. After fixing my mistake, which is the only fixable mistake that I made this week, I started filling the build up with the blocks. Just for the floor 1 though. For the floor 2, I'm gonna do it later. I filled it up properly and then I started adding some jungle vibes sort of thing to it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, since like the jungle temple has a lot of cobblestone, mossy cobblestone and stuff like that. No, a ruined sort of thing to it. And the blocks that I had chosen were mossy stone, mossy cobble, andesite, polished andesite, stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, and a bunch of other stuff. With that, I got the texture that I was looking for. It looks nice in my opinion, so I went along with the build. With the texturing done, I started working on the first set of stairs for the temple. For that, I sorta did like how I textured these walls. I used the same sort of bricks, just the stair variations of the bricks. Those are like cobblestone stairs, mossy cobblestone stairs, stone brick stairs, and yeah, stuff like that. And I used the mud bricks. Okay, so the mud bricks is something that I came across very recently and I wanted to use it in a build. So I thought that this would be the perfect time to use it. So I used some mud bricks as an outline for the top layer. With that done, I started working on the top part of the build, which was quite similar to the bottom half, but just on a smaller scale and a little bit of changes to do. I started working on the stairs first, which was quite similar to the first set of stairs that I made, but just a little smaller. Like I said, I used the same blocks again to the mossy cobbles and stuff like that. After completing these stairs, I started working on the floor. Floor was like very important because it looked very hollow. So the floor is what I did, and then after doing it on one side, I just copied it on the other 4 sides. This build was very symmetrical in my opinion. You just have to do something on one side and then you have to copy it on the other 4. After completing that, I started connecting these stairs all together. I used the same color and the same type of blocks for this part as well. The last part of the main structure was to have like somewhat of a small 3x3 house on the top of the staircase. You know what I'm saying. It's just I'm very bad at describing things. I don't really know how to explain, but you get what I'm saying. Smiley face. It was just a 3x3x4 cuboid like structure with a simple roof to it. Nothing that complex. Well, When it came to decorating the build, there wasn't much to do as I added a texture, filled it up with blocks, this and that, while I was building the main structure. So decorating isn't something that I could do that much. But regardless, I did somewhat like a pillars to the first walls on the bottom half, and it was like a small pillar like structure that supported the wall so that they don't fall off. And then I also used some deep slate to give the build a nice outline. Then later on I started clearing a little bit more of the forest to make some more room for the next part of the build, which are those 4 mini towers on each of the corners that I talked about before. After clearing the forest, I had an idea. Okay, yes, I know I had an idea. I was learning about gradients the other day, and I thought I would integrate that into this build as well. So I added a gradient patch surrounding the main temple. Just to be clear, I'm still learning how to do gradients in Minecraft, so bear with me. I used the moss blocks, the green concrete powder, and the grass blocks to give it a nice transition. In my opinion, it looked really good. It had a nice transition, but let me know in the comments if it is good or no. By the way, since you made it this far into the video and you haven't subscribed, what are you even doing, man? Just click that subscribe button already so that you can watch more of such transformation videos about those towers that I was talking about before. I started working on the towers by first making a 5x5 kind of platform, and then I raised it about like 6 or 7 blocks, only to find myself making a mini Pringle can, which looked very bad by the way. So I changed it up and I made it like a 3x3. I made it like a square just with no corner, and the blocks that I used were like the same mossy cobble, but the thing is that I added andesite to this build as well. So it had a transition from the mossy cobblestone to the andesite. And after doing one of the towers, I just copy and pasted it on the other 3 corners. Except I didn't copy paste it, I did it by hand, manually, by the way. And after doing all those 4, some tweaks and some changes struck my mind, so I ended up tweaking a little bit of the build here and there. With the towers done, I connected all the 4 towers with a pathway and connected that pathway to the main structure. With all the building parts done, I felt the temple looked a bit unreal. So I added some trees, removed a bunch, bone mealed the grass, grew some grass, some flowers, and made it look as natural as possible. And with that done, the build was finally completed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. The main look that I was going for was to build somewhat of a messy, dirty, and old, like abandoned sort of look for the jungle temple, and I think I achieved it. Moreover, these are like somewhat of a side projects that I do. Regardless, I hope I did this transformation some justice. Smiley face. As for the interior of the builds, we're gonna do it some other day. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you want to watch me transform the desert temple, just click on the video on the screen right now. With that said, I will see you all in the next video. Stay drippy, my friends. Bye bye.